your reaction to the news of where we are now? That's positive, even though there's still a long way to go.
You know, listen, you get to a point where there's but so much more you can say.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me personally, we can give, our dialogue and, we can speak extemporaneously and what have you. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is this. I'm ecstatic. He's alive. Now that he's gotten to this point and he's communicating swagoo and what have you, for me, let's call it what it is. Tuesday morning, we were all sitting here. I know I was sitting on this set, Molly. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I was sitting on this set. And the entire show that we did on what happened to Damar Hamlin, I was scared to death that at some point breaking news was going to kick in that he passed away. The whole show, I was scared to death because we had never seen what we saw on that football field.
Yeah.
In all our years of watching the NFL, covering the NFL, never saw it. And so for me, it comes down to just incredible relief, incredible happiness for himself, his family, his loved ones, his teammates, the Bills organization, the NFL community, and on. When you saw Ryan Clark with tears in his eyes, it was very real. When you saw Swagoo with tears in his eyes, because I saw it, it's very, very real. You don't wish this on anybody. And so for me, to hear, and we're not going to get into the details, but Molly, I can tell you as somebody that was on the phone with the NFLPA, that was on the phone with the NFL League office, that heard the specifics of what was being witnessed in real time by those players on that football field. Again, we don't want to go into the details, but it was serious enough that we sat here for the entire 2-hour show Tuesday, and I was scared to death that they were going to get in your ear and you were going to say, I have breaking news. Damar Hamlin has passed away. And so for me, I'm just happy as hell that this guy is alive. He's communicating, the neurological issues and everything like that is in place. The doctors are speaking glowingly about him, that he's moving on up.
Yep.
And he's getting back to his old self. And God bless him and his family and everybody involved, because it's just an incredible relief.
Sentiments exactly, S.A. Just relief, man. I mean, I think everybody felt like it was a heavy weight, especially in our business where we had to talk about it. I mean, our responsibility, obviously, is to talk about all sports, but we cover football and we know how important the NFL and the stories around the NFL is to what we do in this business. But it just didn't feel the same. I said it to your point Tuesday, nothing's funny. It felt like it was just a absolute pause to everything that was going on. It felt like we were going 100 miles an hour for football and gearing up for the playoffs and talking about these scenarios to nothing else about football mattering, obviously. And then you get the news. But the one thing I also thought about as we showed Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, and we saw the doctors talk about it, I thought about Damar's family, especially his father Mario, when Sean McDermott talked about him calling in to the team. Man, do you realize the selflessness and the ability in the middle of all that was his child. That was somebody's child laying there, not knowing what the circumstances would be, but had the wherewithal to not only call the Buffalo Bills and tell them the game must go on, you must play, that this is what we want and this is what Damar wants. Also in the midst of that, to make sure you reach out and publicly tell T. Higgins that this is not your fault at all and this is just a football play. Also updating us. They didn't owe us anything to tell us what was going on or keep us up to date to what was happening. But they knew that this was something that a lot of people had on their hearts and minds, and we wanted to know the updates, obviously, with respect to what they were dealing with and going through. So through all of this, like you said, it's just an incredible amount of relief. And more importantly, you are starting to see not only the significance, because we understood it, but the significance of that medical training staff with the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, and also at the UC hospital. But in that real-time moment, SA, because I got those details that you had and understood what was going on, and for those teams, those athletic training teams, for both of those organizations to rush on that field and know what to do. And we know you practice it, Stephen A., and you know this as well as anybody. You could prepare for a lot of things. But when it's life and death, for you to be able to execute in that moment when it's happening in front of you real time, I just want to applaud them as well. But just an incredible sense of relief and gratitude for the people that have trained to get him to this point.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.